Thank you for inviting me.
How's the wine?
Sour.
Sour? It's too sour? Sorry. I'm better with red than I am with white.
But I do prefer white to red.
Yeah? I found that, like, more girls prefer white to red.
I know red wine makes me sleepy.
Is that
me
why?
to bed.
Yeah?
I think so. And then white wine gets me a bit more hyper.
Is this what you prefer to drink these days? Like, what's your go-to drink now?
Vodka soda.
Still
I'm a
vodka?
basic bitch.
Dude, that's good. It keeps you skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I drink wine. Like I drink a lot of wine now at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I think as I get older, I try to drink more wine, or like just shit that is less harming on my body.
And you get a good kick from it.
Wine kind of sneaks up on you, is what I've learned.
The hangovers are really bad because of the sugar.
Yeah?
I think so.
So the sugar in the wine gives you hangovers. I didn't know.
I don't know why, but red wine gives me the worst hangover,
Yeah.
and like I want to sleep when I'm drinking red wine, even if I'm out. But then white wine, I'm more relaxed. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So look, I wanted to have you on this because I've known you for a couple of years now. I've really always kind of liked your spirit.
Thank you.
You're very. I think I've appreciated more as I've gotten older because like it's harder for me now to be so upbeat. Like it's just in general, like with life. Like whenever I see you, you're always like smiling and happy and just like very. You want to do shots? Oh, okay, sure, let's do shots. And like that hasn't changed much since I met you. Whereas like for me, I'm like, fuck, I do not want to do shots right now. Yeah.
I mean, now when I get older, like I can't really do shots anymore. Like my body can't take it. Like my hangovers take 2 days to recover.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the mood, I still take shots and I force people to take shots with me.
But like you and Junia, you guys go out quite a bit. Like this is very impressive
I
from
go
the
out
outside.
very less now compared to before. But I still need to drink.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to go out, but like, so I don't go to clubs anymore. I go to bars now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't go to clubs.
At all?
I can't remember the last time I went to like a proper club.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, I go to bars now.
That's cool. Going to bars is great.
And when I was younger, I make fun of people who go to bars. Like, like only old people go to bars.
Yeah.
But now I'm the one going to bars. And I enjoy it.
When did that switch happen?
I think when I turned like maybe 27, 28.
Okay.
So, so for the last like 2 years, I haven't really been going out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and it's not that fun anymore too. I don't know. Like I don't find pleasure in going to clubs and I can't hear people and the music is like so loud in my face.
Yeah. The music is so fucking loud in your face, especially when you're like right by the speakers.
Yeah.
But when you're young, you live for that.
I do.
Right?
I did. Yeah.
How you went out, I remember, like very, what's the right word? Happily.
Yeah.
Right? Like you were happy to go out like and be a part of that scene. And now like when I meet girls who are in their early 20s, like when I met you, it's so interesting to kind of be like, wow, you have a fuck ton of energy. Like I cannot go clubbing 2 nights in a row right now.
And when I go to even when I go to clubs, like wow, the last time I went to a club, like you see these young people, these young girls rocking up. I'm just like, I can't compete with them, and they have so much energy. They're like dancing on stage and shit.
So much energy.
I was like, I can't do that. I'm like in the corner just trying to get my drink at the bar.
Yeah, somewhere quiet.
More quiet. Like the music really hurts my head. But don't get me wrong, I still like going out. And when I do get drunk, I still like listening to music and dancing.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be like, oh my god, let's go to a club tonight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't initiate that.
I think for guys it's very different because like I still have guys who like do that. They're like, yo, let's go to a club tonight.
That's where the girls are at. No?
Is it though? I feel like they're on Tinder these days.
That.
Yes and no.
So.
I haven't met like a girl at a club for a long time. Like
because you don't go to a club.
Both.
Anymore.
Like I just don't feel like it's a good place to meet someone.
No.
Yeah. I did a lot when I was younger, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Like when I was like 19 to fucking 24.
Yeah.
Right? But then like it's not a good place to meet someone.
It's not. And then if you ever do meet someone at a club, it's not a healthy way to meet somebody. You won't get really nice conversations. It's just not worth it. I don't think
it's usually not worth it. No, but the funny, I was thinking when you were saying that when I met you, I was dating this girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was like from New York. She was like white. She was Caucasian, and we met at a club. That was probably the last person I met at a club who I actually dated, and I was like 23.
I met my boyfriend at the club.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, so they're all happy stories.
I'm a hypocrite.
No, that's good.
I did meet my boyfriend at a club. But it was just a very brief conversation and he left. So like we didn't actually like do anything at the club. Just like we just exchanged WeChat, and we actually went for a date the next time.
That's really cute. You went for a date the next time.
Yeah, we went on a date.
Asian clubs are very different.
Have you the past maybe 2 years, you've seen the nightlife of Shanghai really change?
Right.
I think right now, I don't know if it's because of COVID, but then they're really targeting like Asians now, like Chinese or ABCs. Well, that's how I feel. Like the places I used to go out to, like right now, it's all full of ABCs or Chinese.
What do you mean targeting?
I guess the crowd changed. So like before when I go out,
right.
Lebanon, like for example, before it's like full of foreigners. But then the last time I went to Lebanon, it's all like tables and people are getting bottles and it's all Chinese. So I guess the crowd really changed.
Yeah. Well, that's where the money is, right?
That's where the money is. Like Chinese people are getting so rich now. Yeah.
I haven't been to LB for a long time. I still remember the summer that LB opened. I don't know when it was, like 15, 16.
When it first opened?
Yeah. Because I think it opened in like June, July, or maybe May during like Francis National Holiday, something along those lines. That summer, I was there four nights a week.
Me too.
It was just, that's where we lived. That street, essentially. Yeah. I think Liquid also opened like right before or something. Right. Yeah. And like now when you go, it's so totally different.
Like when I go to that street now, if I go to Donghulu, I'll probably be at Funkadeli. Because it's like a bar.
Which isn't even on Donghu actually. Like it's
in the corner. Well, okay,
it's in a triangle.
Yeah, but I would never go down that road anymore. Because before, like Monkey was there, Lebanon was right next to it, and we were just like on that street because so many things are happening. But right now, I'm just like in the corner at Funkadeli.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's great. Funkadeli is a great place. First of all, yeah. Second of all, that street is still, I would say, it's probably even more bumping these days.
It is,
right? Because like you have that. There's like a Hong Kongese restaurant that's like always busy. Alimentari is always fucking busy, right? Shanghai Brewery gets pretty busy. Like that street is still really popular. It's so interesting to see how this changes. Have you found that like the music has also changed? Because we're just talking like places and clubs, right? But like has the music, like the taste of music changed?
I think the new clubs that opened lately that I see people posting about, like, I don't know if you heard of Master.
Yeah, we're supposed to go Saturday, actually. Yeah.
Are you going this Saturday?
Maybe. We'll
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen like, and there's another place called Wi-Fi, I think.
Never heard of that.
Well, these are new clubs, and all these clubs, they're playing EDM music.
Oh, okay.
So,
but like mainstream EDM or like, because EDM is a wide range.
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
It's just music that make my ears bleed.
It's all loud music now.
So Master looks like I don't want to shit talk this place, but then it looks really nice. I've never been. Sure. They have like crazy lightings that they work with Team Lab.
I heard
so
that.
That's
that place. I've seen photos.
So
okay.
the photos look amazing. But then I know this guy who works there. He will post like videos of this place, and the music is very EDM. I don't know which genre of EDM, but then the music is very loud. But you see all these people, all these Chinese people, they're jumping. They're like buying bottles and bottles. Like it's a very different environment.
It's such a different environment.
But it works.
It absolutely works. I think this is a really cool trend. I don't know if it's happening elsewhere in the world because we live in Shanghai, but this like art/nightlife combination has been very, very hot recently. I think this is probably an example. Like Team Lab, for those who don't know, they do art installations, usually involving lights.
Lights and projections.
Right, lights and projections. Like that's what they're known for. I guess they'll be considered artists. I don't actually know what they're considered. And there's like that. There's another place in Shanghai recently that has like these parties at the museums. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
I've seen like people posting about it, but I don't know which company.
I can't remember off the top of my head. This is how little I go out. By the way,
I'm referencing from like the stuff I see on WeChat moments.
We sound like such boomers right now. But like this combination of art and nightlife has been really cool. Like watching it, So I wonder if this trend is elsewhere, or whether it's like export.
I'm sure. Like for example, in New York, they have a lot of events like this, and I think the culture from Shanghai, like mixing arts and nightlife, also came from people who came from abroad, or people who have experienced like nice events like this, and they came to China. I see that maybe there's a lack of there's a space for it to grow. That's why they want to do events like this, and I think it's interesting because. Well, because I'm a designer, so I do
Right.
like art. So I do find it like I would rather go to this kind of events because like you get to know maybe the artist or
Yeah.
whatever they're
Yeah.
promoting, and it's
Yeah.
just something different than
Yeah.
going to a club.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just like standing there
And you probably meet the people who have the same interests as you because you
Right.
guys are going to this kind of event.
exactly, I feel like you should do that. I feel like you would really enjoy that and excel at it.
What?
Like making these installations.
Oh, so I'm in a crossroad. So I work at a corporate company.
Right. Are we allowed to say it on air?
No. But I work at a corporate company, but I'm a designer. So I have to say I shifted into corporate because the money is good.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But so I've been in corporate for the last 4, maybe almost 5 years.
Right.
And I mean, I like it. I learned a lot like about business, about like, it's interesting. And I get a lot of trainings. Like there's a lot of benefits from working from a corporate company.
Good.
But then as a designer, like after a few years, you know that you feel like you're losing that
Artistic.
touch, like because our clients are very corporate, so like there's not too much room for creativity. So now I'm kind of in the crossroad. Like if I do want to change my job, but if I do switch, would I want to go in corporate or do I want to go back to creative?
Yeah.
But obviously I need to, I don't know, but like the money in creative is not as good as in corporate. So
Right.
but obviously I had to sacrifice something, right? I
Right.
can go into corporate and make more money, but I'll be sacrificing my happiness. Yeah, so this is like what I'm debating right now. And I've been speaking to my friends in the industry. Like there's people who work in corporate, they're in banking. They are designers, but they're in banking, like financial like companies. And I've like friends who work in an agency, and I've been speaking to both of them, and both of them have valid points, but I guess it really comes down to me whether I want like which path I want to take, and I'm still like struggling.
Right.
Yeah.
Struggling, I think, is normal. First of all, like I think that's perfectly okay. Like it's a process you have to go through. It means that this is important to you, because otherwise you wouldn't be struggling with it, right? So I think that's good.
Yeah.
2, I think it's good that you asked about like happiness.
Because
And you're factoring that.
yeah, because because I'm not how do I say it? Like my work environment doesn't inspire me. So I think
Sorry, quickly interrupt. Is being inspired important to you?
I think so. I especially work, because you're spending so many hours per
Right.
day doing something with this bunch of people. So if the working environment, if the people that you work with and what you're doing, you don't believe in it, or if you don't like it, then obviously the happiness of your like just average is gonna decrease.
Sure.
And that's gonna affect in your personal life.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that is the main reason why I wanna change the environment. Yeah.
So you want to be somewhere that inspires you more while giving you the corporate support let's just call it support.
I mean, that would be the best.
Right.
That would be the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
But so now I'm like thinking like, should I take that? I mean, I don't know if there will be a pay cut, but I'm just saying, would I want to look into agencies and like, understand more about it, which is what I'm going to plan on doing next, after Chinese New Year. So I'm going to start speaking to like my friends really, and like start looking into companies, because at this stage, like I can't change a job just for like, I just want to change a job. I really need to think about where I want to be in the next like 1 to 2 years, short term, like, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to think about what it's going to be the next 1 or 2 years. The short term for you. Can I ask you something? I find people like you who work in the creative field really interesting, because, like, on the one end, I like you bleed creative design. Like it's in your makeup choice, in your hairstyle, it's in the clothes you wear, is how you conduct yourself, is where it's obviously such a big part of you. And at the same time, as you're describing this, what I'm hearing, at least, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that like you wanna contribute to a vision instead of finding your own brand, right? So like what I'm really curious about is what the difference between, say, somebody like you and, say, somebody who goes and starts their own design thing, like they're just an independent contractor, because it doesn't sound like that's what you want to do.
Are you talking about like freelancer
or starting your own company, your own agency?
I don't think I'm
know.
ready yet.
Right, but is that what you want to do?
I think that's what I want to do, but I don't know if it's gonna be like a design company or like a or anything related to design specifically. I do want my own stuff, but to be honest, I don't know what it could be.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm really ready for it because I don't have a direction, and I think this is not something that you really force yourself to like come up with. You know,
Right.
it's like anything can happen within a year. Like maybe something, you meet someone, they inspire you, something that you never really thought of, and you're like, okay, shit, this is actually what I want to do. So I haven't had that moment yet, and I think so I don't think I'm ready to start my own thing, but I am down. Like I am keen on having my own thing with my friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Having your own thing with your friends.
We share the same value.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool goal to have. Like I said, for me, I think it's just interesting because I'm so the opposite of that.
But you started your podcast. What inspired this? It's kind of out of the blue.
This is very out of the blue.
Yeah.
No, look, I enjoyed this. I think this is a good example of why I started this. Like just understanding your thought process behind this. Like I find this fascinating. I don't know who else does who's listening to this, but like I find this fascinating that like you at this point can be honest with yourself and say, hey, I'm not ready because I don't feel that passionate about starting something. Because I'm the opposite of that. You know, I'm like,
just start shit right away.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like this podcast literally had the idea mid-August. We recorded our first episode 3 days into September.
That's crazy.
It is. It's absolutely right. So like when I hear you talk about it in real time, and I can look you in the eyes and you know believe you and everything, it's really interesting.
Well, I'm so scared, right?
Why?
I don't know, failure.
Why?
Yeah, I guess like I think that's one. One is that I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, and the second, if obviously everybody's a little afraid, you know, to take the first step, especially to start something your own. You probably have to fund it yourself, you know. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's normal to get scared, but I don't know why you're judging me.
No, sorry. I'm absolutely not judging
No,
you. You know, I think what I'm doing actually is just like admiring it because like I wish I was like that more. Because I'm not.
I wish I'm like that more. I mean, like you try to do it.
The grass is not greener.
I know, but at least you're pushing yourself to do it. And I'm like, and before you're doing, I don't know if you're doing the coconut water, so you're doing like a lot of different stuff.
Sure, yeah. This is what I mean. I have a problem. I have the opposite problem. You and I are.
But it's cool. We're sitting here. We're having this podcast, and I think it's like one of the reasons I agreed to come on is also I think it's quite inspiring. I want to come and like talk to people who actually start their own thing because it's actually difficult. You know, you need to find the right people. You need like people to believe in you. You guys can do this together. It's not easy.
Right. Yeah. I prefer blackmail.
Blackmail.
Yeah, my producer.
I mean, you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's easier. Look, when you blackmail someone, it's just I'm kidding, obviously. I completely agree. I couldn't do this without Kyle and now Vivian and everybody else who's involved with this podcast. Thank you. Would you? What would it be like? I feel like you've been so. Because I think before you did agency, and then you did client, and then you did agency, and then now you're on client again. Sorry, not client, corporation, let's call it, right? Like company. Do you have a preference? Like, do you prefer working at an agency, and is that something you pursue, or would you like rather pursue creating your own, I don't know, fucking clothing brand?
I think working for a company is like building my experience to help me. Maybe pursue something of my own in the future. Yeah. So I do like it now because I'm exposed. Because when I work for different clients, I'm exposed to different brands. I'm exposed to different industries. Right. So that is pretty cool when you're exposed to different industries. If not, like if for example, right now I'm working on a banking app. So if I didn't actually work on this project, I would know nothing about banking. Right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I did learn stuff about like financial services and stuff. So it is interesting. And then you do have to broaden your knowledge of different industries because, I'm a UIUX designer. So it applies to a lot of industries, right? So like you don't know which client you're getting. So it's nice to touch points to like different industries. And also like maybe I'm interested in the future. If I was interested in banking, this would be like my gateway, to be more exposed in this field. Right.
It's like your taste tester, right? Like you get an overview of what it's
without
like.
Any risk.
Without
I'm still getting paid.
How's banking? You like banking?
Okay. In the beginning, I thought it would be very. Because I don't know shit about banking, so
I don't either.
Yeah, so in the beginning, I was like a little worried that like if I go on this project, what if I don't catch on, or what if I don't understand what people are saying? But actually, when you do UI and UX, like it's a lot about the user experience. So obviously, there's people who know the products and they will explain to you.
Right.
But then more of what I'm doing is like defining the logic, understanding the users, like starting their behaviors, and then creating the app that is like to help them So I don't think I have to know about too much about banking because people will help me anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a team that supports you and is able to fill in the blanks. Yeah. I think that's really important. I like UI UX is such an interesting thing because it's like it's very new, like in the scheme of things.
Right.
Yeah. Like I've had this conversation with someone before. It's 2020. We're heading into 2021. If you go back 20 years ago to the year 2000, which wasn't that long ago. Like you and I were I was 10 years old, right? The concept of a designer was not a job. Like there was no, maybe you were a fashion designer, but that was like an apprenticeship. And like very few people got to be able to, do that. But like that wasn't, not only was that not a job, but then that has branches.
Right.
Graphic, illustration, animation, UI, UX, and then I think within UI, UX, you have different specialties as well, right? Like web, mobile, sketching and, or behavior. And it's just so interesting to see how much this field has grown. And now I'm trying to think of what the next field of that would be.
Because I actually started off as a graphic designer.
Yeah,
so I started graphic design in the very beginning. So I was a graphic designer. And then it's through my career because like the market is changing, new technology, so there's this new, it's not really new, but then it was like a more fresh thing, like it's called UI, UX, like user interface and user experience. So
what year was this roughly?
When I shifted into
like what?
4 years ago. So when
that's still pretty new.
So when I started going to corporate companies, I really focused on UI UX only because that is what the market needs, right? And I actually like it more because with user experience, it's a lot of like logical stuff. You have to like understand the market. You have to do your research, and then like I'm not putting a button there just like it's just there to look good. There's a purpose. It's to help the user to get to their goal. So I think there's a lot of like logic behind it, and just understanding your user is so, because we have to in order to understand them, we have to create personas. So we'll create personas, and then based on that, we kind of analyze like what they need, what like how can we solve their problems, and what are their pain points. So that is what is interesting to me rather than the actual design itself, like the visual designs. So I'm more interested in that.
So you're more interested in that rather than should this button be blue or light blue?
I don't care. It can be yellow. I don't care.
Well, yellow is, yellow is a little...
but obviously all the visuals have to go according like to the brand guidelines. Sure. What's more interesting to me is the logic behind it.
Interesting. Cool. When did you decide that this is what you wanted to do in terms of like design in general? Because you said UI UX about 4 years ago, right? But like, did you study this in school?
No, I didn't. But when I started my first few jobs, I did love graphic design, but sometimes I'll touch a little bit of web design. So I kind of know, but I wasn't really like specialized in that. It's just like we have a website project, we just like my boss said we have to do it. He was like, shit, we have to do it. We have to figure it out. And then, but then, and then slowly there's more web designs because the market is changing. Everything's going digital, and then mobile phones, like apps came out. And then it's like you really have to push yourself to be better because this is what the market needs. Right. And then, and once I understood the process of it, I was like, oh shit, this is like way bigger than I actually imagined. And it makes so much sense. Like, why would you not like do your research and analyze your users? Like it makes so much sense. Right. And that's how like I really got into it. Yeah, because you want to improve their experience so they stay on your app, I guess, right? Or your website or whatever. Everybody's goal is like to keep the users on the app, right, like, and spend time on it and potentially like, like spend money or sell them ads. Well, I hope the ads are good at least. Cool. What would you be doing if you weren't doing this? Just like, I'm just really curious because I think, as I said earlier, like to me at least, sitting in front of you bleed design and creativity, right? Like if I saw you at a bar and somebody's like, hey, 3 guesses to what this girl does,
one of the three would have absolutely been a designer.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So like, what is there like? Would you, I don't know, fucking be a teacher? Would you like go into fitness? Have you ever thought about this?
Fitness, no.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I've never. Well, when I was little, I was like very athletic.
Right.
Like I like.
Like when you were like 2 or what?
When I was in primary school.
Everyone's
when I was in
athletic at
primary
2.
school, and then after that, I just no. Like I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend he's really into like fitness and wellness.
Right.
He goes to the gym.
Yeah.
He eats very healthy.
You should go with them.
I want to go to the gym so I can watch him work out, but I don't want to do the workout with him.